Guys, it's Coach Rich here. I'm really excited to share with you this super secret protocol that I've been using with my clients for years. It's something that's been used by all the elite coaches, teams, and athletes around the world, but taught by very, very few. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit more and share in this discovery what we're going to learn about reverse dieting. Now, I have been weight training, playing sports all my life. When I first started weight training, I used a process which a lot of you might be familiar with. It's called bulking and cutting. So a bulking and cutting phase is effectively you're trying to bulk, so you're trying to put on as much weight as you can by eating more, exercising as much as you can as well. And you go through this kind of awkward phase of like, am I fat or am I fit? When I did my men's physique competition back in 2017, I really didn't want to go through that awkward phase. I wanted to try something new and expand my mind. So I came across this process called reverse dieting, where effectively you're going to slowly start to add on calories and you're going to start to increase your training volume and your training intensity. I only had like 24 weeks to get ready for it, and I really wanted to achieve that holy grail of like getting fit, getting lean, and getting jacked as well at the same point, which is like super hard for many people, just because of like the length of time that you need to apply to it so that you can get the response. In 24 weeks, I managed to put on 5 kilos of muscle and get down to single digits body fat percentage. For good measure as well, I decided to take my wife on the same protocol, and her results were phenomenal too. And you might be sitting there thinking, okay, Rich, well, we don't really want to do a physique competition. And I understand you. Neither did one of our clients, Carrie Ann, who she's a 40-year-old executive, extremely busy, with lots of responsibilities with her work, traveling around the region. She came to us like stressed and confused because all the things that she was trying, like most people try, which wasn't working. She was reducing her calories and she was eating salads and she wasn't losing weight. And by applying the same kind of protocol with her, we actually had her eating more calories, especially focusing on protein, increasing her water intake. Within a 4-week period, she lost 1.5% body fat, increased her muscle by 1 kilo, and she was like stronger, leaner, and her numbers in the gym were going up. So how is this possible? Well, for most of us, we think that the important part of losing weight or body composition is CCO, which is like calories in versus calories out. If I consume less calories than I'm expending, then surely I will lose weight, right? That isn't necessarily always the case because it doesn't take into consideration 2 really extremely important variables. The first one is your metabolic rate, and the second one is your hormones. That's basically everything in your lifestyle, from your habits, your behaviors, your stress, your sleep, your mindset. These 2 highly influential biochemical variables ensure that calories in, calories out aren't the most important part of this equation. So let's dig a little bit deeper. And let's find out exactly what is reverse dieting and why we could be doing it. So reverse dieting seems to work based off the process called metabolic adaption. So with metabolic adaption, as we reduce our calories and as we start to have less energy, what happens is our metabolic rate starts to decline. What we'll also find out is you'll see that your numbers in the gym and your performance in the gym also slows down. When that slows down as well, your NEAT, or your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, gets lower and your digestion slows down too. Effectively meaning that eating less isn't necessarily always the best case because our performance is effectively going to decline, especially when it comes to playing sports, being active and going to the gym. So here's an interesting thought for you. Because of metabolic adaption and how it works, you can consider somebody who's dieted down. Let's say somebody who's dieted for a short period of time and they've got down to a level where somebody's also held weight for a specific time. Let's say, for example, you dieted from 80 kilos down to 75 kilos or 70 kilos, but someone's always been at 70 kilos. The person who has dieted down will have to eat 5 to 15% less than they're currently eating in order to get that weight. Whereas somebody who's always been at that weight will just have to eat the same as what they've always been eating. And if someone has dropped a hell of a lot of weight and they've got down to a significant number that they've wanted to achieve, let's say you lost like 20 kilos of weight, your reduction in calories will also have to be that much more extreme to continue to lose weight too. Now, with all this, there is a silver lining. Metabolic adaption works both ways. So if you increase the amount of food very slowly and gradually, what you'll find is that your metabolism or your BMR will actually increase. Your energy will increase. Your numbers in the gym and your performance output will increase too. Your exercise, non-exercise activity thermogenesis will improve and your digestion will actually speed up. So this process of metabolic adaption, or reverse dieting, as a lot of people call it, is actually helping us push the opposite direction. So if you have lost a lot of weight and you've hit a plateau, then you can use reverse dieting to help kick you out of that plateau. And the same point, if you have been at if you're on a very low if you have a very low metabolic rate, you feel like your digestion is slower, you feel like your numbers in the gym aren't going up any higher, you feel a lot less energy, and your sleep and mindset isn't so good, then we can use reverse dieting to help kick you up out of that slump. But, when we are increasing our calories, it's important that we do it slowly so we don't overfeed ourselves. So overfeeding is a process which we call increasing your calories more than your daily rate. So if you increase your calories by 40 to 60%, there's a very high chance that you're going to gain quite a considerable amount of weight, which you might not necessarily want, and especially if you're not able to get to the gym and do your training, predominantly that's going to come from fat. If you increase around about 200 to 300 calories per day, you can slowly start to increase your calories that much higher. And everybody's different. You must understand that everybody's different. In some studies, some people were able to eat 20% above their normal baseline and not gain any weight, whereas people that increased around about 40 to 60% above their baseline gained a considerable amount of weight. In other words, if you maintain your weight on like a 2,000 calorie diet, you might be able to eat up to 400 calories extra per day and still not see that much change on the scales. But 800 calories a day extra, yeah, that's probably going to weigh you down quite significantly. Additionally, some data suggests that whatever you spend in time of dieting, say you spend 6 months dieting or 3 months dieting, you generally need to spend at least the same amount of time not dieting and even working on your reverse dieting to kick yourself out of that slump. Now, there are some caveats to all of this. I remember when I was much younger, my adaptation was so much faster when it came to training and also putting on weight and losing weight. Now I've become more of an experienced trainer. Sometimes these adaptations are a little bit slower, so you have to be a little bit more patient and realistic with the goals that you want to set and achieve for your body composition. The third caveat, which is really important to understand, is reverse dieting massively is dependent on you really understanding what your baseline. It assumes that you have an idea, that you know what your baseline is. And if you're not too sure on what your baseline is, you can always go and check through calorie calculators online, go and do a body fat scan at one of your local gyms or training centers, and that will give you an idea about what your daily calorie intake will be based off your total current body composition. So what are the ideal scenarios for reverse dieting? Well, the first is a fantastic one. You want to eat more and not put on weight. Yes. Crazy, isn't it? So what does that mean? Yeah, so most people who want to actually eat more, they want to have a better composition of their body. And generally that's people who say they want to be more toned, I want to be firmer, I want to be bigger, I want to have more shape. These types of people, we need to start to eat our way out of where we are right now, because that currently isn't giving you the ability to build muscle around that area and change your body shape. This works for a lot of people who are eating around about 1,200 calories a day and not losing weight. That is the very lowest baseline calories that you can consume. And if you're already eating 1,200 calories and you're not achieving anything on the scales, then this diet is probably going to be for you. And lastly, this will also work for people who really want to get ripped or shredded. So there you have it. If you too have been struggling with weight loss, can't understand why you're moving more, eating less, and not losing weight, then it might be a little bit more involved than meets the eye. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us for all of your health and fitness resources for the over 30s. For many of you, the idea of tracking your food may seem unrealistic, unattainable, overwhelming, and something added onto your already busy lives. This is the main reason why we created the Rich Lean in 7 nutrition blueprint. This is going to be a carbon copy, click and paste daily routine that you can do. It's simple, structured, easy to follow, and it's going to get you to lose around about 1 to 2 kilos of body mass within a 7-day period. And predominantly that body mass is going to be coming from fat whilst you're simultaneously building muscle. To get this simple blueprint, just click in the description below. You can download it totally for free. So let's get you out of stress and into health, and I'll see you in the next one.